Divine Entertainment. By Orthoris. Chapter 18. Banquet. Alex, Crimson, and Belle entered the little plaza that provided the space for the little hobo camp. They had successfully concluded all their business, including finding a chariot service who'd be willing to take them to the border. As Crimson predicted, they were ridiculously overcharged, arriving at a grand total of 60 bits. The ride would cut into their travel funds, but at least they would save a lot of time. There was also the added benefit of assured security the service included. Alex and Crimson wanted to be doubly sure there wasn't a repeat of what happened to their caravan. After they settled things with the charioteer, they made their way back to Dusty. Dusty was currently talking with what looked like a young couple, apparently discussing how much they'd be able to spare for Belle's journey. They politely waited some distance away until he finished his business with the couple. He thanked the couple and turned away, and that's when he spotted them and made his way over. "I trust everything went according to plan?" he asked once he got close enough. Alex nodded. "Chariot guys gave us some trouble, but otherwise we're all set on our side. How's it looking here?" "Almost every pony is giving a little something for you guys," Dusty said. Once they heard that it's for Belle, they wanted to help as much as they could. He chuckled while looking towards Belle. "You'll be missed by all of us." "Ah! You guys!" Belle said. "I'm so happy I could cry." "You actually are, Belle." Alex deadpanned. "Yeah, I know." Belle responded while fanning herself with a hoof. Alex just shook his head at Belle's antics, while Dusty broke out in a series of loud guffaws. "You two fit together real nice," he said in between laughs. Belle hugged Alex from the side when she heard Dusty's statement. "We do," she said. "We don't," Alex protested. "And get off me, you're dirty and you smell. Take care of her for us, will ya?" "That goes for you to Crimson," Dusty added. "Will do," Crimson stated formally, while gawking at the two ponies wrestling on the ground worriedly. Dusty nodded in approval. "All right you guys, come with me, there's much to discuss still," he said as he started walking towards his own tent. Alex untangled himself from a still very clingy Charity Belle. His fur was now considerably dirtier, as they started to follow Dusty. Outside of the tent they arranged themselves in a small circle. "Well, let's get right to it," Dusty started off. "As I said before, almost everybody is willing to give something to you guys. Ranging from food to bits, you'll be supplied quite well I think. I'm talking about roughly 100 bits, and enough food to last you at least 5 days comfortably. Longer if you ration it wisely." "That's amazing!" Alex exclaimed. "But are you sure it's okay to give us this much? It doesn't look like you guys can spare all that," Alex said while looking around. "Don't you worry about us lad. No pony is giving so much that we wouldn't be able to manage. It all just adds up from a lot of ponies," Dusty assured Alex. "Well if you put it like that," Alex caved in, still a bit uncomfortable. "Oh don't you worry your silly little head, Alex," Belle interjected. "The ponies gathered here are all amazing. And nice. And caring. I should know, because I'm friends with all of them." "She's right you know," Crimson added. "The last time I was here, they looked out for me real well. They are all about sharing what they have, so they can live better as a community." "Yeah, all right. I get it," Alex said. "Can we move on?" he pleaded with Dusty. "Sure," Dusty replied. "We'll be having a little party tonight, in celebration as well as a farewell for Belle. Everybody is going to bring what they'll donate for you guys. It's a bit much, so from me you'll get 2 saddlebags. Just to make sure you can carry everything," he said with a smile. "Oh I'm gonna miss you so much," Belle shouted while she locked Dusty into a bear hug. "Belle," Dusty coughed. "I can't breathe." Belle immediately let go of him, and flashed an awkward smile. "Oh sorry. It's all right," Dusty said. "But I'm gonna miss you too, as will every pony else," he said as he pulled Belle into a gentle hug. "But our parting is tomorrow," he added. "So let's not be sad today. Tonight is a time for celebration," he said enthusiastically. Alex, Crimson, and Belle cheered with him in agreement. Asterisk. Night had fallen. In the center of the plaza a big fire roared towards the heavens, sending countless sparks flying into the night sky. Every pony was gathered around the fire, eating, drinking and generally enjoying themselves. While the food and drinks weren't anything too fancy, the mood was genuine. Belle was the center of attention, as she flitted around the fire, talking to every pony she could. Tales were told, laughs were had, and even some tears were shed as the community shared their last night with Belle. Alex and Crimson sat together with Dusty, eating some fruits and drinking water. Behind them sat 3 pairs of saddlebags, filled to the brim with food and bits that were donated to them. They watched as Belle moved around the campfire socializing, while sharing stories about themselves. "You know," Dusty said, "Belle is a real hoofful to have around." "I can imagine," Alex responded. "But she's also some of the best company you'll ever have," Dusty continued. "She's always cheerful, and when there's something hurting you, she'll patch you up right quick." "So, is she something like the community medic?" Alex asked. Dusty hummed in agreement. "You could say that. We can't really spare a lot of bits for medical supplies, but she always finds a way. Once, she splinted a broken leg with nothing but a stick and some cloth she found." Dusty chuckled at the memory. "Makes me almost feel bad about taking her away from you guys," Alex said. "It's what she wants," Dust replied. "Ever since she was little she talked about visiting the great magic capital one day. You're not taking her away from us. She's graduating from this place, so she can seek out her true purpose in life. Besides, we'll manage." Alex hummed, lost in thought. For a few moments, silence fell over them, as they watched Belle hugging a little filly. They basked in a soft orange glow from the fire, creating a picturesque scene. Crimson proposed a toast as he raised his cup towards the other 2 stallions. "To good friends, new beginnings, and precious memories," he said calmly. Alex and Dusty bumped their cups and cheered to the same. They simultaneously downed their drinks, which felt pretty weird for Alex because they did so with water, but it was the thought that counted. A commotion started on the other side of the fire as Charity Belle apparently broke out into song. It was a slow song, but still filled with emotions. Some of the other ponies even joined in on the chorus towards the end. This is where the chapter ends. A new one now begins. The time has come for letting go. The hardest part is when you know. All of these years, when we were here, are ending, but I'll always remember. We have had the time of our lives. Now the page is turned. The stories we will write. We have had the time of our lives. And I will not forget. The faces left behind. It's hard to walk away from the best of days. But if it has to end, I'm glad you have been my friends. In the time of our lives, we say goodbye. We hold on tight to these memories that never die. And I will not forget. The faces left behind. It's hard to walk away from the best of days. But if it has to end, I'm glad you have been my friends." Cheers and applause could be heard around the plaza after Belle's song ended. She stood there with a few happy tears in her eyes, surrounded by her friends. Ponies came over to her to reassure they'd never forget her, and that she'd always be welcome in her home. Alex watched intently, as he got his first demonstration of ponies seemingly breaking out into song at random times. He wondered whether or not there really was some magic causing this phenomenon, or if it was just exclusive to Belle. Alex's group watched them with a smile as another rather unfitting voice cut through the moment. "Whoops! Oh sorry. It slurred. Coming. Burp coming through. Excuse me. An earth pony with a sky blue coat and a deep blue mane stumbled into their merry circle. He pushed his way past several ponies on unstable legs. Most attendees looked at him in confusion, the newcomer obviously not belonging to them. After he was almost at the fire, he face planted and remained motionless where he fell. I'm okay. His right front hoof shot up from his prone position as his body shook from a series of giggles. Dusty looked at the scene with a frown on his face. Tonight was meant to be a night of celebration, and the newcomer threatened to blemish their memories of the last night they had with Charity. The mysterious pony got up on wobbly legs and took a look around, until his eyes locked with Dusty's. A look of recognition sparked on his face. Dusty. He slurred. Dusty, is that you? He said while squinting in his general direction. Dusty looked confused for a moment, but decided to humor him. That would be me. He said. Have we met before? A full-blown smile spread across the blue pony's face. Dusty. He shouted, long time no see. He started running excitedly towards the older stallion. What have you been up to, ya old coot? The stallion was now running full tilt at Dusty, obviously not able to control himself. Unfortunately for Dusty, he wasn't able to slow down in time and barreled into the old stallion. They rolled together for a few feet before coming to a stop. Every pony's attention was now on the two entangled ponies lying on the ground. One of them seemed quite happy, while the other acted mostly annoyed. After Dusty managed to free himself from a hug, he stood back up and addressed the crowd. I'll handle this, he said, so everyone could hear. You just continue right on with that party, I'll be right back. At his words, several ponies could be seen shrugging, the festivities resuming almost as if nothing ever happened. Laughter could be heard around the fire, as the face-planting stranger became the topic of many conversations. About 15 minutes later, Dusty returned to Alex's side, plopping himself down with a sigh. He suddenly looked a lot more tired than before, a frown decorated his face. Something happen? Crimson asked. Just some bad news. Dusty answered him. Don't worry about it. He added in a downtrodden tone. His eyes were locked onto Charity Belle, as she went around the fire hugging every pony. Every sign of joy that was present before, was now absent from Dusty. Crimson and Alex looked at each other, before silently agreeing to give the wary old stallion some space. They got up and went to join Belle, eager to hear some stories from her friends. Author's note. First off, sorry. I don't really like this chapter, but also don't know how I could have done it differently without it being only about 1,000 words long, which is something I didn't want. So I just wrote it like this, even though I'm not 100% satisfied. It gives me the opportunity to move on to better chapters, which are of course already written, so don't worry. Instead of being stuck on this one with writer's block. I think this is my worst chapter to date, but it gets the point across. The important parts are still there, just with a lot of fluff added to it. Look forward to the next one. Hope you had a good read, and feel free to comment. Once again, thanks to my proofreader/editor Ambrose for a job well done. Today's chapter was brought to you by this song. It's time for a feast. Yo ho 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 ho. End author's note.